Yard Sale has a question. What are your thoughts on vaccines using fetal cell lines for development? I'm about to lose my job at a big MN clinic if I don't get the vaccine and struggle with this issue. God bless you, Mike. All right, y'all. Here's my honest opinions, because for those who are like me, struggle with this issue. I have not made videos trying to tell people what they should do about this stuff, because I feel like it's not something that I feel so strong and confident about that I want to tell everyone how they should think about it. So I've not done that, but although it'd be great for creating viral content, right? but I don't care. So my personal journey went like this. Initial question with vaccines. Hey, if this is going to help people, even if it's slightly experimental, I would want to even volunteer myself to take a vaccine, even though it may have detrimental effects on me, because I'm aiding others in in them vetting this and getting it figured out so they can move forward. Because I do think COVID kills a lot of people. So if you don't think that's not my process. Okay. I think that's legitimate, that it really is a threat to people. I don't know if I'm not saying it justifies all the measures that have been taken. There's definitely some measures that seem clearly unjustified. My opinion there. But here's the next step in my growth and thoughts through this over the months and years now. But I find that there are fetal abortion issues connected to the use of vaccines. Abortion issues. That is, babies were aborted, and that is part of what led to these vaccines being created. Now, I did spend some time researching this, listening to debates on this, trying to think it through and understand it. And here's how I currently understand it. I hope I'm right. I could be wrong, because these medical things are just way over my head. As I understand it, here's the situation. I hope I'm not wrong. I think this is correct. That there were abortions done, especially in the 70s, as far as the current vaccines that are on the table in the US. Okay. In China, this is different. In China, they have much more recent abortions to produce their vaccines. My understanding was there were some probably abortions done to produce the cell lines that then get reproduced in, I guess, petri dishes, these cell lines, not like a person, just the cell lines. And those cell lines, ancestors, this is what they use to test the vaccines on, to make sure that they'll work on people. That's a real problem. As I was wrestling with this, listening and thinking it through, I was like, I can see the case for saying I refuse to take a vaccine that is connected to past abortions. And I can also see the person saying, okay, but it is legit and it's a legit problem, but these past abortions are so long ago and they're no longer ongoing, so that the medical benefit is not like a new vaccine being tested by these cell lines does not cause or promote future abortions. And I go, well, I guess that does make sense. I mean, if you think about it that way, you go, okay, there's at least a case there. Let's not act like by taking this vaccine, I'm supporting abortion, because I don't think that it actually does work that way. But you're benefiting from something that benefited from an abortion, even if it was many, many, many years ago. On the other side of the issue, you have people saying, no, this is where we can put our foot down. Okay. This is, what's the name of the guy? Oh, I can't remember who's promoting the Christian who's promoting this view. He's like, this is where we put our foot down. As Christians, we say, hey, we will take a vaccine. We just won't take one that's connected to abortion. We've got to tell these companies to stop using these cell lines. They don't need to. They could come up with other ways. They don't have to. We got to put our foot down. And I thought, yeah, that could be like a cultural movement moment, right? Where these companies go, hey, we make our money from these vaccines. We make our money from these products. Let's come up with a new procedure just so we can make more money. And I'm like, I kind of like that idea. Right? I do. But we also have to be honest. If we're going to say that, we're going to be putting our foot down on lots of vaccines, aren't we? And I want a full list of every medical procedure and benefit. This is not just about COVID vaccines, right? Like when you take whatever vaccine, we take a series of vaccines as young people. And I'm not an anti-vaxxer, and there's some in the who are very committed to this issue. You haven't convinced me, so I'm not on that page. But you're going to have to then, remove tons of medical treatments. Don't just put your foot down on one issue of COVID and then you're going to go and have your cat vaccinated later. Or I don't know if probably cat vaccines aren't part of this, but you're not going to go and just, have your kids vaccinated with other vaccines that are equally related to the same fetal cells, because they use these fetal cell lines for all kinds of different medical developments. Okay. So don't do that. But then here's what caused me to fall on the side where personally I lean towards saying, yeah, take the vaccine. Personally, it was the idea that if it had been my child that in the 1970s had been aborted, not for the purpose of these medical procedures, but for other horrible reasons, or had died in murdered or something, and they took the cell lines, and then now the cell lines were being used to promote vaccines that were hopefully going to save people's lives. As the father, I would think at least something good's coming out of that. And it's not promoting ongoing abortions. That's key. That's a key issue here. So that's my current understanding. It's tragic, it's sad, but it's not promoting ongoing abortions, I don't believe. And some believe it is, in which case you probably shouldn't use it. And so that's where I lean. That's kind of where I've landed, and I'm willing to change my mind on it as well, because I find it a morally challenging issue that I've gone a little back and forth on. So those are my thoughts. And you can unsubscribe if you need to. Yeah. All right. I'll move on to the next one.